All month long, we're getting you Ready, Set 2020. Today, it's Motivational Monday, and this one is all about that career refresh.
Mika Brzezinski, perhaps you've heard of her, co-host of MSNBC's Morning Joe, and her sister-in-law, Ginny, they teamed up to write this book. The book is called Comeback Careers.
It's a great topic. It's about helping women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond rethink and reinvent their careers. It's the third book in Mika's Know Your Value empowerment movement. Mika and Ginny, good morning to you guys.
Thank you for having us.
I think it is so important. I know so many people in my family, frankly, who are trying to figure out in their 40s and 50s and 60s how to do it, right? So I think it's so interesting because this started with the text. Is that right? You were on the set of Morning Joe. Tell us about it.
I was on the set of Morning Joe feeling pretty good about Know Your Value and an event we just had. And then Ginny, I was a zinger.
Well, I was watching Morning Joe, and I saw Mika talking about her Know Your Value movement, and I thought, you know, it doesn't talk to women like me who zigzagged careers or we're in our 50s, and we have value too, and we needed a little help. And so I said to Mika in a text while she was on air, let's do something about this with Know Your Value.
And boom, it was born.
Well, no, I said, let's do something, as in let's, you and me, write a book. Come on, I'm back at you.
Wow.
And she was at first like, wait, no, I can't. And I thought that's exactly what women in this space do. They are so concerned. They feel so marginalized. They feel judged by their choices. They feel worried about their age. And it's the voices in their head often that keep them from picking up the phone, accepting an invitation, going to an interview, or even just walking out the door. And this book gives you the technical skills of getting back, you know, interviewing and revving up your resume and all that. But it really pushes women through the psychological part, pushes them through those walls they put up for themselves because they feel so much fear.
You've got a ton of information in this book, but there are 5 main areas you say women need to address. And number 1 is called BS on ageism.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Ageism is out there. There's no question. We talked to so many women who had to deal with it. We talked to women who couldn't even get an interview because of their age. We talked to women who found out later on that somebody actually wrote T.O. on their resume for too old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that against the law?
It's against the law to say that you're not hiring them because of their age, but it's out there. But what we say is that you need to address the ageism that's going on in here.
That's correct.
You need to turn your age into an advantage. If you're our age, chances are you're not going on any more maternity leaves. Your kids are probably a little bit more independent. You have more time. You can put 120% into your career. And that is a bonus for any employer.
That's probably
valuable.
more loyal.
Yeah.
Get out of your own way is also something that you read about.
So we tend to put up a lot of barriers, not you, of course.
I break them down.
A lot of us put up barriers. We find reasons to say no. We need to find reasons to say yes and to just get started.
I thought the next 2 are interesting. You say, get relevant and don't fear failure. What are some tips there? A lot of people are afraid to fail, especially considering what you just talked about.
Right. So many of the women we talked to, the ones who returned successfully after a career break or started something new in their 50s, said, I was so afraid. But they said when they look back, you know, that was my biggest obstacle. And once they got past that, it was so much easier. You need to fear never trying. Don't fear failure.
Absolutely. And we really try and inspire women who feel that fear and don't want to make that first move and maybe even put up walls like, you know, I have to go the game. I have to take care of, you know what? We're so used to caregiving. That's the easy go-to. You got to get out of your own way and say yes to opportunities, but you have to be realistic about those opportunities. If you've taken a huge break, the money may not be right. It may not be the greatest schedule. Jump in and put in some time, and then you'll have some negotiating power. But be realistic.
Well, I have you. I want to get your take on something I read in the Times over the weekend. Stephanie Rule, our friend Stephanie Rule, actually posted about this. This idea that women should be sharing their salaries with each other. They should be talking about money with each other more than they do. What do you make of that?
Well, women and men should. And I will tell you that Know Your Value would not exist if that didn't happen. And it started, you know, 7 years ago with a book, 5 years ago with a 12-city cross-country tour, teaching women to know their value and communicate it effectively. This whole brand would not exist if I had not shared my salaries with my colleagues and they shared back. And they were men. So, look, it's not something you go screaming from the rooftops, but quiet, appropriate conversations can be really helpful. And it is important. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. It's supportive.
You can ask, if you're uncomfortable saying, hey, Mika, how much do you make?
Yeah,
you can say, how much does somebody who's in a job like yours make?
Yeah.
That makes it a little
what's
easier.
the range that I should be looking for?
Should we say hello to your fellow?
Well, is he holding my purse?
Yeah.
He actually isn't holding your purse today. He usually is holding your purse.
He said he's Dennis Thatcher.
No,
She
he
didn't
is
give me a
Dennis.
purse
He's also
call.
a rock star.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, here we
Prohibition.
go.
Ladies and
Wednesday
gentlemen,
night.
Joe Scarborough.
Don't make fun of me, Mika.
I'm not. I think you're amazing.
She's singing your praises.
I know.
Oh,
She usually has a purse for me to hold today, so I guess I've been demoted.
Never.
Great having you guys here, Mika and Ginny. Again, the book is called Comeback Careers, Rethink, Refresh, Reinvent Your Success at 40, 50, and beyond. And you can find out more about it on today.com.
you know, he just walks around with a microphone.
With a microphone.
That's pretty good.
Like-
That's pretty good.
I'll be going now.
At any moment.
Never, ever stops talking.